What's going on, everybody? My name is Jared McKenzie. This is You Want Podcast, episode 13. We got a special guest, Colt Harmon, in the building. Give him a round of applause. How's it going, bro?
Good. How are you?
Good. I see you've been working hard, man.
Try, bro.
Fatburger.
Try. Yeah.
How's that going?
Good, man. Good. We had Steak and Shake before.
Yeah.
And that was my first restaurant.
Yeah, that was gonna be my first question. I was gonna ask what happened. Like, why did y'all change from Fatburger to?
Yeah. So we were making pretty good money at Steak and Shake. It wasn't like that. Like most of the time when like places like change, everybody's like, oh, something went wrong. And it wasn't really like that. Like for us, like the brand, so like how brands work is you go in and you have to sign like a contract with the brands and they say, okay, well you can do this and that, and every brand's different, right? So like with Steak and Shake, you couldn't actually control your pricing.
Really?
Really. So it's set pricing. And so like their biggest deal is like value. So they want to roll like 2,000 tickets a day and that's it. They don't care like if like price of beef goes up, they don't care. They're just like, well, you should just sell more. And so,
Really?
Yeah. So, and then you tack that on and then you tack on like, you know, obviously like people want to be paid more now. So minimum wage, like since we opened, like when we opened, minimum wage is like $8.25.
Yeah.
So every year that we were a franchisee, it went up. It just kept going up. And so like we went back to them and was like, hey, you know, like even if your sales stay the same, your minimum wage is going up. So it's like, dang, this is cutting to your bottom line. And with the pricing strategy that they had, we can't afford to pay people what they're worth. And so like I don't want to pay minimum wage. Like,
right.
At all. Don't want to do it. So like,
so you couldn't bump them up neither if you wanted to?
No, and
Really?
I mean, if you did, I mean, it's affecting the state of the business, right?
Right.
So what we decided is like, okay, like obviously we know during the pandemic what was going on, right? With supply chain, everything else. And so it's like, okay, well, your cost of goods are increasing, your payroll's increasing, your sales are good, but you're losing all this money. And it's not sustainable. It's like we're making money, but we're having to squeeze every little bit out of it. And it's not like we're actually doing the business like a disservice, right?
Right.
And it's like, well, we can do this, but we're going to have to run with 5 people now instead of 7. Well, those 2 extra hands are, they're vastly important.
Right.
And so what we decided is like, okay, where time's going, we know that minimum wage is going to go to $15 an hour. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going there, right?
Right.
So we're like, okay, so like what's a brand that's tried and true at $15 an hour that people love that's not here? Like what's different? And so like we went to like a leadership conference like with some Steak and Shake franchisees because Steak and Shake corporate was going to file bankruptcy. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the owner bailed him out. So he owns like 5 or 6 other like big like brands. Okay. He owns like, you ever heard of Maxim Magazine? So Maxim Magazine is like one of the original, like one of the really big like had models and everything like that. So he owns Maxim Magazine. He owns like another like offshore like drilling company and then like a big like insurance company.
Right.
So Steak and Shake's about to go bankrupt and he like bails him out. And so like at this time, we don't know that he's going to bail him out. So we're like, okay, well, what happens? Like what happens to our supply contracts, things like that. And so anyway, so we're leading. This guy's like, hey, have y'all ever heard of Fatburger? I was like, man, I've heard of it, but I don't really know about it.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know about it. He's like, man, you should look it up. Like, you look it up. And so, like, Fat Brands is a corporate brand. They go and, like, just gobble up, like brands that are, like, on the rise. Or, like, older brands that they feel like they can take to the next level. So,
right.
Like, you heard Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
So, Fat Brands owns Twin Peaks.
Really?
Yeah, like, just bought them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, just bought them. Marble Slab. So it's like an ice cream company. It's a pretty big company that they own them now too. But like Twin Peaks is like the most like known one.
Right.
They just bought them like during the pandemic. And it's like it's crazy. So they bought this brand, kind of take it to the next level. And so like I just reached out and I was like, hey, I noticed that they didn't really have drive-thrus. So I was like, what do y'all think about this? And they were like, yeah, we feel like that's the next wave. Like test this for us. And so like sign the deal and.
So like other Fatburgers don't usually do drive-thrus?
No.
Really?
We're the only, so there's one other one, but like we're like the first like traditional one. Like they have one in Crenshaw, California.
Yeah.
But it's not like a traditional drive-thru. It's like you can come to the window and drive around and pick it up.
It's kind of like curbside.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like not even a drive-thru window. It's like a hole in the wall. And it's crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. So like we started this and it works so good. Like it's perfect.
Where are they like based out of? Like,
So they're based out of Los Angeles.
So there's a lot like in like Cali and stuff like that.
It's like basically all out of Cali. And then there's the next like biggest ones are like in Texas. Like there's a few in Texas.
That's what I was gonna think. Like when you came out with Fatburger, I was thinking maybe that's like somewhere out of Texas, you know, like because I was thinking In-N-Out Burger, but I'm like, nah, that's not the same thing.
So
you know?
so Fatburger in California is In-N-Out's biggest rival. Like they go like back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like back and forth. Like if you look at like how everything is like packaged too, like on the original fats and everything, it's like dang, somebody copied somebody.
I will say I do like Fatburger more than Steak and Shake.
Really?
Yeah. But I always like the only time I had Steak and Shake is when we would go to like Branson or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
So I started Steak and Shake because so here's this kind of like backstory about that. So I played ball in the Midwest.
There you go.
Yeah. So backstory on Steak and Shake is so like I played ball in the Midwest at Lyon College. So we were in the American Midwest Conference.
Right.
So like we're constantly in Illinois, Missouri. Well, you get done playing ball, you have nowhere to eat, right? And so it's like, dang. But there was like by our hotels, there were Steak and Shakes everywhere. So
right.
Like that's what. It's like, dang. Okay. So when my partner at the time, he was like, "Hey, do you want to get in the food business?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." And so he's like, "I got the rights to Steak and Shake." And I was like, "Oh, all over it," because I knew the food, I knew the product, and like I've got to believe in the product before I sign anything. So sure. Yeah, so we got in there, but I like Fatburger too more than Steak and Shake.
Yeah, it's good, yeah. But it's different, you know.
Yeah,
it's like you never had it.
Right. Yeah, and it's like
it's cool to have a burger joint in Greenbrier too, you know.
Yeah, like and it's like tried and true burger. It's like Steak and Shake. I mean, I don't know. It was so weird. Like customers were like confused from day one because it's like you had like the sit down with the servers and things like that, but it's like they see you as fast food, but you're like really not fast food. But it's like it was like really confusing from the time, and like we did good. I mean,
right. It might be because of the drive-through though. Like
it is.
It's because I seen like people were like, man, it's kind of expensive. I'm like, it's a burger joint,
right?
You know?
Right. Yeah, and so like yeah, that is the biggest deal. Is like the drive-through. It's like when people see a drive-through, they're like, oh damn, it's fast food. It's like no, it's not. You know. So like my wife and I ate at there's a new place in North Little Rock called Waldo's.
Yeah.
So it's owned by the Keats, and she used to work for them. She used to bartend for them. And so we went in there yesterday, and they're like they've had like some plus or minus like feedback. It's like chicken and beer, but it's like fire roasted chicken. But they have a drive-through, so like people are going in, and they're like, "Oh, it needs to be fast," and it's like, "No, it's not. Like it's not.
Right.
Like I'm going in there, like I'm perfectly fine with like 15 minutes to get my food. Like that's what it should be. But people think, oh, it's a drive-through. You should take like a minute.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, I don't, you know, it's just one of those deals, but like
it's you always got a lot of people in the drive-through though. At least on the weekends when I drive by, you know, I see it. It's always packed.
So if like you look at it, and it's so Greenbrier, like Greenbrier is like, you know, we have 6,000 people, you know,
right.
Whatever it is now. You probably a little bit more if you count like the outside. Like people, I always see people posting like, oh, we want this, we want that. I'm like, no, you're never gonna get that because we don't have the population of. But like
what?
Like Olive Garden, things
like
that.
Dude,
like
never.
You're never gonna get that. You know, it's not gonna happen. Like Chick-fil-A, still, you're never gonna get Chick-fil-A here.
Do you think they'll ever like have a restaurant where they can serve beer in Greenbrier?
I hope.
I've always wondered that, man.
So yeah, so that's been the biggest deal. And shout out to Ashton Pruitt. She's working really hard. She's just she took over the chamber, and she's done a really good job. And I know a lot of people do want it. And it's time for change in this town. Like it really is. And
it's getting huge, man.
It really is. You have a lot of people moving in. Like if you like really dig in, like I challenge people, like really dig into the numbers and like see like what people are actually moving in here and why they're moving in here. It's growing. Like, and people are so like, well, I don't want Greenbrier to be, I don't want them to be big. I want them to be a small town. It's like, okay, you can still have the small town feel, but don't complain when Conway's getting all the stuff and you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
you got to adapt that. And so, man, I hope so, because like people, and going back to Fatburger, like people associate us like with Vegas. So like there's a Fatburger in Vegas. And so like more people here have obviously been to Vegas than they have Cali.
Right.
So whenever I was like, oh yeah, I ate Fatburger in Vegas, it's really good. Well, they have a bar. So they have like a circle bar.
At Fatburger down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So so what's cool is, so I just like literally yesterday closed on the Steak and Shake. It was a Steak and Shake in Conway. Like I had nothing to do with that one. I just bought that property. And we're going to turn it into a Fatburger.
Oh, so there's not a Steak and Shake no more in Conway?
No.
Oh, I didn't know
there's
that.
Not. No. So they shut down. They shut down, and they were kind of like, we were going to always do a Fat there, But we were having to work through like some legal stuff with like Steak and Shake, and we finally like got that settled. So now we're gonna do it. But what's cool about that is we're actually gonna have liquor there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to knock the front out of that, and it's gonna be like an In-N-Out patio bar. So I mean, it's
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what we decided to do. We were like, okay, let's bring that here, because like a lot of brands that are going like this fast casual, they're adding the full service bars to the inside, and they're just killing it, because people are like, what they're wanting to do more like since the pandemic, they're not wanting to go in and like do more like traditional set down like Chili's, TGI's, like stuff like that. Like their numbers are falling.
I haven't been there in forever. Like Chili's. I'm not saying I don't like Chili's.
No,
I just
I love
ain't been
Chili's.
there in forever.
Yeah, I
you know?
love it. Yeah, but people are preferring more fast casual, and if you add the bar there, they're like, that's just what the trend is right now. And so who's to say it won't go back? But like people traditionally, like now they're thinking of like set down restaurants, like like fine dining.
Right.
You know, like
that's pandemic probably.
It is. It's 100%. It conditioned everybody. And it's like, it's not our fault. I mean, it is what it is. And it's nothing against Chili's and nothing against TGI or any places like that. It's just, it is what it is.
Right.
So
I went inside McDonald's the other day in Greenbrier, and I'm like, dude, I forgot you could go inside these places.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
Dude, I didn't even know you could still go inside McDonald's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. I don't know.
Did they have the kiosk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you use the kiosk?
The thing where you can like order or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you
I
like it?
basically was like, I don't even know why we came in here. You know?
Right.
But that was pretty cool.
Right.
It's a whole lot more advanced from when I went there as a kid, you know?
How do you feel about that? Like using the kiosk?
No, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I like it.
You like it?
It just seems like high tech, you know, just cool.
Yeah. So I have Slim Chickens as well in Oklahoma and Kentucky, and that's like their new wave. So like they're like really like blowing up in the UK right now, which is crazy to think about. Like I can't remember how many. I think there are like 16 restaurants in the UK.
Like Slim Chickens?
Slim Chickens.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, but like all their stuff in the UK is kiosk, because it's more like fast paced, more people are walking, doing that stuff. And so it's like, man, that's where the world's going.
Well, it's all involving, especially like with the pandemic. Nobody was going in places like that
Nobody.
forever, dude.
Nobody.
So it's like, I don't.
So stat for you, and stat for people watching, listening at home. 80% of our business is now drive-through, or what we consider drive-through off-premise. So third party, which would be like online ordering, you know, Bite Squad, Uber Eats, DoorDash, 80%.
So you can get your stuff delivered out here in Greenbrier from Fatburger?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're working with Uber Eats right now. I did a test with them the other day. Like we have it. So like the other day I was like, I'm just going to test it, 'cause like I don't do that. And so I wasn't really satisfied with them, because I think like right now they still like don't have enough drivers in this area.
Oh, it's 100%, man. I got Burger King one time, probably like a month ago from Uber Eats, man, and it like took like 30 minutes to get it. It was cold by the time I got it.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a charge, I mean, but it's just, I guess it's because Greenbrier.
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna get just a Uber driver in Greenbrier.
Yeah, I think they're coming from Conway. I really do, because like I did the deal, and it said like originally when I placed the order, it said like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, that's not terrible. I mean, that's about standard for an Uber Eats deal, but man, it took way longer than that. So I called him. I was like, guys, I own the place. Like this is concerning. I don't like this. So we need to fix it. And they were like, send me this big long deal. I'm like, we just don't have enough drivers.
So you think when you do Fatburger, you think y'all ever do something like a fight night or something like that, with having like a bar and stuff like that?
Yeah. So that was, I wanted to do it in Greenbrier. Like I wanted to like set that trend and do that. And so like if you look at, we have like the TVs and everything in there. So like I want to do that, because like with the wings, like we want to do like dollar wings and stuff like that. So I'm pushing for the beer. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I'm not trying to say people watch fight nights and they ain't drinking beer, but I know every time me and my buddies do, we're drinking beer.
Right.
Oh man.
And that's the thing about it is like, yeah, you can do it, but people aren't going to come unless there's beer. You know what I mean? And so I'm hoping there's a change in like some things here locally that's going to drive that. And I feel like it's coming. I feel like, we're getting more progressive as far as like what people want. And there's more younger people like us that are like getting into roles. And you have more of the older people, the older generation that are getting out. And it's nothing against them. Like I understand it. Like, trust me, I do. But at the same time, like we're losing so much revenue to Conway. And it's like we want nice.
It's not even fair.
No, it really is. And I mean, if you really dive into the numbers, I mean, it's a lot of money. And so I challenge those people to kind of like have more of an open heart about it and say like, okay, like they associate alcohol with like bad, and it's not. Like
Right.
And some of these people smoke cigarettes.
Right.
And that's
Yeah,
that's
know,
the craziest thing is like you smoke cigarettes. Like big tobacco is like
it's like traditional stuff.
Yeah,
man,
it's
know?
like.
But Damascus now selling beer.
I know. I drove by it the other day.
Dude, that gas station, they're like building onto it just because they need more spot. You can't go in there and find a Gatorade. It'll take you a minute.
So we went to a wedding and my buddy got married like a month ago. And so my wife was like, "Hey, is there a liquor store around here?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually, there is." It's like crazy to think about. Like, there's a liquor store in Damascus. Yeah, there is.
It takes me like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Go get beer if I want to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Sorry.
It's crazy.
Sorry for Andrew Brothers and DeSalvos. I
Oh,
know.
my gosh.
But
Dude, they're losing so much business.
I knew it was coming for forever, But I think, don't quote me on this, but have you ever heard about like the kind of the deal that they have like there in like Conway County?
What's that?
So it's like, I think there's only like 2 licenses that you can get in both, and I think like the families own both of them. Like nobody else is ever gonna be able to do anything in there.
I don't know about that, but I knew like Van Buren County, like Damascus, all that. I knew they only had 2 liquor licenses they could draw, but I didn't know about Conway.
Yeah, so and that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason. I think it's like where the lines are drawn at. It's like only the Andrews and the Salvos. That's the only one. So like that's why there's only been 2.
Well, in the Salvos, they just built that building like a year or so ago.
Yeah.
But they're going to, like Andrews and all, they're going to have to jack down their prices now.
Yeah.
Because they could charge so much higher because people would come.
For
they
sure.
would pay it, So.
I paid it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, I hope that the town we get to that point. Because and then who knows? I mean, maybe more people will come in.
Yeah.
But
I think it's just going to take time, man.
Yeah, it will. It will.
Arkansas, medical marijuana now. Like, our parents never thought that was going to happen,
It's so ass backwards. Like, I tell people that all the time. It's like, who would have thought that weed would be legal before alcohol in some areas?
I know, that's crazy.
And isn't that crazy to think about? But it's like,
I lived in Breckenridge, Colorado for a little bit, man. I was just living life, hanging out there. And, dude, like, have you ever been to Breckenridge?
Yeah. I literally just went to Breck in February.
All right, so like on Main Street, you're not gonna find no marijuana shop, right?
Yeah.
They're all outside of the Main Street,
Yeah.
and they were like, we just don't want to represent that. So like they had like a documentary about like a marijuana company that was there, like a dispensary, and they made them out. But like everywhere you go there's alcohol.
Yeah,
that's a crazy thing,
Dude, we went, and every time we go to Colorado, so like my wife and I went on our honeymoon, we went skiing. So like that's like our thing. So like every year for our anniversary, like we want to go try to ski, and so. Every time we go, we get such altitude sickness. Like, it doesn't matter, like, how much I prep for it. Like, I could just down water, just whatever. Every time we go, it's just like another world there.
Dude, when I moved up there, it didn't even affect me.
Really?
Like, I mean, not where I would get sick. Like, obviously, if you're going to live up there, you have to stay hydrated, drink constantly, you know? But, like, when I moved up there, like, it didn't, like, affect me where I couldn't do anything that first week, which is crazy. Like, I don't...
Dude, because I know it's like...
But it kills people, man.
It kills us. Like, I don't know. It's just us, like, my body or whatever. But, like, we'll go up there and go ski, and then, like, we're just dead. Yeah. Don't want to do anything. It's like... the whole time.
Breck's awesome though, man.
No, it is. That was my favorite. We went to Keystone first.
That's fun.
Keystone's fun. It's hard. It's harder though.
Long.
It's long. Yeah, like dude. You do like school marm, and you're like, I don't know how long that is, but it's crazy. But we went to Breck, and it's like obviously I'm a way better skier now, but Breck's fun, and there's so many more runs. It's like you start on one side of the mountain and just go to the far other side. Man, we got to where. We knew like the far side wasn't as crowded, but obviously there's like harder, it's like steeper and like harder runs. Then I got on a double black diamond.
Oh, those are fun.
No, they're not. I was like throwing my skis down the deal. So it's like, cause you look on the map and like, it's got like, it's like a blue. We're like, okay, well we can hit this blue, but you got to hit a double black diamond to get to this blue.
Right.
So I'm like, dadgum. It was, we got to like where we could do it. Like when I say do it, not good.
Right.
But like we weren't falling. We were just taking our time. But then some people out there are just like.
Well, when I snowboarded, but when I was out there, I got to do it every day. You know, people were coming out there once a year. You know, so I kind of got pretty good at it.
Right.
But like I said, I got to do it like every day. You know.
You tried ski?
I did once. Was not a fan.
Not a fan of it.
Well, because I started out snowboarding, you know, and like once I started getting that down, and I tried to do ski. It just I don't know. Wasn't for me.
I want to try to snowboard.
It's fun.
But we were like, okay, we got to be like, I want to do it like where I've got like some time. Like I wanted like I've got to commit like a whole day to it because I know I'm gonna get frustrated at first. Just like skiing, when I started skiing, like I got frustrated with it, but I knew like I had a whole day to like kind of get the feel of it. So, but I think I would prefer. Well, if I could do snowboarding, I think I would prefer it because like I love wakeboarding and I love surfing.
Right.
Like when I'm talking about surfing, like wake surfing. So like I feel like it'd be better to do.
Yeah, I will say the one thing about skis though is you got like 4 different ways to land. You get on a snowboard, you're face planting or you're falling back of your head.
There's no. I hate like when my biggest pet peeve like, but it's like it's whether you snowboard or you ski. It's like you're going down the mountain. It's like I just hate like people just zipping every which way. It's like when I'm carving through, it's like I'm constantly like looking and checking.
Oh, you have to, man.
And so it was funny. It's like on our honeymoon, my wife, it was our last day there, and she was like, why do you keep like looking back? And I'm like, because these people are crazy. Like they're coming out of control. So she's a way better skier than I am, but like she doesn't carve or anything. She just like takes off and goes. Yeah. So like I don't even know how it's enjoyable.
Just
straight down. But
whoa,
I mean,
but
that's
some speed.
Yeah, she does it. I mean, but she's really good at it. And so she goes down and she's probably like, I don't know, 2, I won't say a run, but she's like 2 like kind of like little deals ahead of me. And I'm turning and the next thing I know, I hear somebody's like, oh, I can't stop. It's this snowboarder. Like he comes down and he's just out of control. He's like, I can't stop. And so like he's like right at me and I just like shouldered him. And like we both like went flying. And so like he's like it hurt him way worse than it hurt me. Like it hurt, but like you could tell like he was just like he was going like way faster. And so like he's like this and I was like, are you okay, man? He's like, I think so. like so like I get down the bottom. I'm like, you remember how I told you like you were like, why are you checking like all this stuff? So like, I just got smoked. Like, and this was the last run of our honeymoon. Like this was my last run at Keystone. So that I've got that memory planning in my head. Didn't even get the joy of the last run. So.
Dude, the first week I moved out there in like July, so it's like before all the snow, people were hiking and stuff.
Yeah.
Someone got famous in the news he was from Arkansas, and they do this thing. It's called the Colorado Trail. You ever heard of that? It's like 500 miles. People backpack. Takes like 30 to 45 days. Like it's like people do it to have that achievement.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this guy ran into a mountain lion and like little guy, but dude jumped on him and he like snapped his neck before he could do anything. We're like, yeah, that's Arkansas boy right there.
It's like the baseball game and picking up the raccoon. Did you see that? Oh, man. It was like the last home series here recently. It was like a couple weeks ago. It was like a raccoon that was loose. And some dude just snatched it out of like literally raccoon was running. You know, them things are pretty freaking mean. He just snatched it and he was videoing it like as he was doing it. And
this is who?
Some dude. Last name was Harmon, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, so
like an Arkansas boy? Or?
Yeah, he
like
was.
Plays
he was
for Arkansas?
No, he's a fan.
He was a fan.
Like it came into the stands, and he just grabbed it and like escorted it out of the stadium.
That guy
look at the
viral.
like pull. Oh yeah, look at the like Barstool was all over it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, like
that's
crazy.
Crazy.
Look it up. Like it was crazy. Like what in the hell was this?
Man. So I was gonna ask you too. So Baskin Robbins or something like that.
Yeah.
Y'all's deal's up or something like that?
Yeah, deal's up. So I don't know. I have people mad at me all the time, but like right now we're just kind of searching to see like what we want to put in there.
You got any ideas? Or?
Yeah, I've got a couple. So one is to keep it and to like kind of boost the image, and then like add a Dunkin' because like Dunkin' owns Baskin, so like add kind of like that to it. But there's this other company called Rise Biscuits, and they're like just like a chicken biscuit company. So like. Our thought behind it is like we do a lot of like truck service in the morning, like truck drivers and stuff like that. And their biggest like complaint is like, hey, you don't have breakfast. Like we have like breakfast torpedoes and things like that, but they're like, you don't have any breakfast because Arby's doesn't serve breakfast anymore. So like when the gas station was started, Arby's had like a breakfast menu. So like anyway, so like we're trying to figure out a way to like cater to truckers and things like that. And so there's a company called Rise Biscuits. And
have you ever tried it?
No, I haven't. But so part of it would be I'd have to go to the store, test it, see if I liked it and things like that. Like I had to call with the company. They're super cool. I've got a guy that I partner with on some real estate, and he's from North Carolina, and they've got one like kind of by where he is. And he's like, it's really good. And they have like donuts too, like homemade donuts. So there's like those two options.
It would be weird not seeing Baskin Robbins though.
I know.
So I just remember going there.
Yeah, and that's what people say to us all the time. Is like, man, why isn't Baskin Robbins like? You don't have anything over there right now. I was like, I know. Like, I just really don't want to order anything over there because
people still get a lot of Baskin Robbins though.
Yes and no. I feel like now that so Inspire Brands bought Baskin Robbins, which they own like Arby's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Dunkin'. There's a brand called Rusty Taco. It's kind of newer. But Inspire Brands like really big. They've like since they bought out, I think it was like Clinky Brothers or something that like owned it or whatever. So since they bought them out, like there's more support behind the brand now. So I think like for the longest time, like the brand was kind of going downhill just because there was no like corporate support, which that's everything in brands. Like if the corporate support is not there, your success is not going to be there. Like, because you can't like, that's why you pay the royalty. You pay them for their time, for their resources. And if it's not there, then it's not. And so like, I feel like Clinky was just smaller. I think that's who owned them. I'm not really don't quote me on that because people be like, oh, you're a liar. I'm like, yeah, I probably am lying. So, but I just know like the corporate structure wasn't there. And so like, I love Dina, was our rep. I love her to death. But obviously she can only do so much. So I feel like now that with the company, they've got more like firepower behind them. And so like what we talked about is like, if we're going to do it, like we want to go like full out and make sure like it's like the full Baskin Robbins experience instead of just like hey, I can come get a scoop of ice cream and a milkshake type deal.
Right.
So we're working on it. So just stick with us. It's going to happen. It's going to happen pretty quick. Cause like right now we're in fuel contracts too with our fuel supplier. So like we're coming up on the end of our mobile contract. So we're talking like Mobile, Shell, Phillips 66. And so like most of the time these brands will like give you money to like do things. Right. Because they want your business. And so like they'll give you, upfront cash, whether it be like 60 grand, 100 grand. You can kind of negotiate that based on volume. And it's yours. And so like theoretically you don't pocket that money. You just are using it to like add on amenities.
What if they try to pay you in Bitcoin? Are you accepting it?
No, I'm not.
What do you think about all that?
Dude, I don't mess with that.
I really no. Have you researched it at all?
Mm-mm. I've researched it a little bit, and it's probably because I don't really understand it. And it's crazy because like I feel like I've got a knowledge in other aspects, but like that I don't. Like I've messed around with it on like Robinhood, you know, and I just don't know anything really about it. Like NFTs, things like that.
I was about to bring that up. Just doing this podcast, and I watch podcasts that like study other people too. But I've been watching a lot on NFTs.
Yeah.
I don't really understand everything about it yet, but I've been researching it. But like, have you heard of the metaverse that they're trying to come out with and all that?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
Really?
Dude. But they're thinking this metaverse, it's like a virtual world that like, what's the owner of Facebook's name?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's wanting to start. And they're saying it's going to be the biggest thing since internet came out and all this. And these images that you buy and all that, they're going to be able to transition over to the metaverse. And it's going to be like, I don't know. It's a lot to take in. There is no way nobody knows exactly what is going on.
That's just over my head. Like I don't even try to like front and be like, man, I don't know anything about that. You know what I mean? Like I don't even play the stock market. Like I don't do it.
Yeah.
I don't. Like I don't. That's just me because I have family members that do and I've been very successful doing it. But what I've found is like real estate. I mean,
that's what most podcasters that I've listened to are saying. Like if you're trying to invest, one of the biggest ones that never downfall is real estate.
It really is. I mean, because think about it. Like it's like the market is so wavy. Like it's never like obviously like it can crash and it's going to come back. And I think like you can find safety in that, but still like some people can't afford to like do that. Like people that it can, I guess, they're just really stupid rich, you know? Yeah. But like with like real estate, like I don't feel like you get stuck with it. Like even if you think you get stuck, you can still like liquidate it. Like it's or just get rid of it. You know what I mean? So like that's why I've always like it's weird. My wife hates me for it because like everything we so we live like really like when I say this, like people, I don't know, like we don't live above our means by any means. Like, I don't know why I just said that, but anyway, like obviously, like we splurge and do things like that. Like what, and I think everybody should. Like I don't like people say like, well, you need to save and do this, but here's the deal: you could die tomorrow, And this is like something my wife has told me. She's like, well, what if you die tomorrow? Why do you want to hoard everything? Like, you got a point, you know? So like, I don't know. Which everything we make, like literally, I just invest back into my business myself, and just in hopes that like one day, like it's worth so much. And then like, once I get to be like, my goal is to retire by the time I'm 45. But I'm killing myself trying to do that.
Right.
Like, it's not.
It might be worth it in the long run, though.
It might be, but like, so me and my wife, we had like a really like deep conversation about that. Like, it's like, but you're really like trying, like, it's not. It's okay if like it's 50. You know, like it doesn't have to be 45. You know,
you've been
like,
dead set on this, huh?
I know. Like, I've just been dead set on it because like I don't know. It's like I have 2 young boys. I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and my whole thought behind that is like I want to, by the time they get to high school and do whatever they want to do, or even if it's junior high, whatever, like I want to be able to follow to follow them, to have fun, and us be able to do things
right.
And so like so I'm like, I'm young right now, so like why not work hard? How
was your time in Lyon? Because you played baseball for Lyon, right?
Dude, I loved it.
My buddy, Jordan Patton?
Yeah,
he went there for a little bit.
Yeah, so we played together. Yeah, so he was a freshman when I was a senior. And man, I feel bad because dude, he pitched his balls off. My last game, my final game there. We were in regional tournament, and we were playing the game to go to the finals, and then we had to win 2 to go to the World Series. And so like Jordan he'd been like up and down like all year. Like he always had the stuff, but just being a freshman, I mean, you just got to learn how to pitch. Like it's just right. What it is what it is. It's nothing against any freshman or whatever. You could be playing at Arkansas or whatever. So just learning how to pitch. And so man, so we were running like super low in pitching. Our number 2 had like tore his UCL.
Blackstock was playing too then, right?
Who was?
Blackstock? Spencer?
Yeah, but he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing there.
Really?
He was playing, I think he may have went to Crowder, maybe.
No, I meant, oh, wait. He played with you at Lyon?
No, he didn't. Blackstock didn't, no. But
I meant Patton.
Patton.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Greenbrier. That's why I was asking that. I didn't know they were in college together.
Yeah. So Jordan went to Lyon. So I was a senior. He was a freshman. And so he had pitched a little bit, midweek games and stuff like that. And like I said, I mean, he was kind of like even kill. And so we had our number 2 towards UCL in our conference championship final. And so it kind of put us a little bit behind the 8 ball. And so Jordan threw my final game, which is kind of crazy to think about. He threw my final game in college. Man, he pitched so good. It was like 1-0 for like the longest.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 1-0 for the longest. And he got into some trouble. It was like the 8th inning, maybe. He got in, I think it was 7th or 8th inning, maybe. He got into some trouble, maybe in the 7th inning. And we brought a reliever in that just, Coach Holmes, if you see this, that wasn't a good call. Coach Rep, wasn't a good call. Anyway, but I'll tell them that to this day, like they know. But
you don't have to. They're going to see it.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. They're my boys. They know. But, yeah, so we brought this reliever in, and it just wasn't the right matchup. And it's crazy. I think we lost like 9-1. So it was like.
Really?
Yeah.
Your last game?
Last game.
Ooh.
Yeah, and to go to the finals. And it was the furthest that we've ever been in regionals. It was the furthest we've ever been. And so, like, we're like, dang, okay, if we can get to the finals, we're going to have our number 1 throw the first game. And we know that we can. And this was the number 1 team in the country. And that we were going to play.
Really?
Yeah, and they were good. They were freaking good. But yeah, so we just had a bad matchup. And the thing is, if we could have got to that inning, we had like a really good part of our order coming up that I thought we were going to like take go like either push it 1-1 or go 2-1 and then shut the door on them and go to the next game. But it didn't happen. So,
Yeah. I wonder how their football team's doing.
So that's been, man, you can do a whole, if you wanted to like just have a really whole segment on Lyon College, you could, because there's so much stuff like surrounding. So like my sister Addison just graduated from there.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff like surrounding that college. Like we don't know if that college is going to be a college in like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. They're in not the best like financial stuff. And they just made a move that's not very good. Like they just decided to go Division III, which makes like no sense.
What were they before?
NAIA Division I.
Oh, okay.
But see, we always played like Harding, Henderson, Tech, and all those, and we always beat them. And so we were like, well, if y'all not do anything, like go to the GAC and go D2 or go to a similar conference, because most NAIA schools, when they go NCAA, they go to Division II. And it's because the only reason that they're NAIA is because they're private. That's it.
Right.
But their enrollment numbers they're a little bit smaller, but it's about the same. I mean, there's more advantages of being NCAA. I think there's more like money advantages. But they just decided to go Division III, which will cut athletic scholarships, which 60% of Lyon's student body is athletes. And it costs like $40,000 a year to go. It's like, if you take away that money, like, you know, how is it going to be? But Henderson State's about to fold. Like, they probably won't be a school year after next. And it's like a known. It's like, it just like came out. And so like Lyon just did like some like veterinarian deal. And that's like going to be like a really big like thing. So like, that's like they just went like $77 million in debt on top of the debt that they're already in. Golly. So like, if this doesn't work, it's not going to be a school. That's like crazy. And it was funny. It was like, we're sitting at my sister's graduation, and like the speaker is like wrote the history book on Lyon. He was like, yeah, we're going to be around for 150 more. I'm like, dude, no, you're not. Like, at this pace, no, you're not. So I don't know.
I mean, do people know that though? Like, around there?
Yeah, they do. They understand it. But, you know, they do. Like, the college is good. Like, people do love that college. I mean, it's really cool.
I mean, everybody I talked to this went there loved it.
It is. It's really cool because it's like, I don't know, for me, like, I went to a bigger college at first. Like, I went to Pine Bluff at first and played baseball there, and it's just different. Like, I don't like the big feel. Like, I like the small feel.
That's what Patton said. He said it felt kind of like high school in college.
It did.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I mean, you like, it's small enough you know everybody. So, like, everybody's close. Like, and you don't even have to be, like, best friends to, like, know somebody. You're like, oh, hey, yeah, that dude. Like, I saw that dude, you know, whatever. We talked for a little bit, whatever. And so, like, I don't know. I just like that feel of it. Your professors know you. So it's not like you're, like, they don't have to know, like, 20,000 people, you know? So, like, right. You get more help in the classroom. So I felt like I really got a better education. Because, like, I'm not even kidding. I didn't even go to class at Pine Bluff, and I still had all A's. Like, it's pretty bad, like, when you show up for your final, like, freshman year. You're like, I don't want to take this final. I haven't been in class. I'll pay you $200. It's like, okay, I paid a teacher $200 and I got an A in her class.
Like, for real?
Like, for real. Like, didn't even show up to her class and gave her
$200.
$200, got a freaking A. That's factual. That did happen. And even when I went to junior college, still, like, I didn't even go to class. I didn't go to class and I came out with like a 3.8. So how does that happen? Now you get the line, like, you got to go to class.
Yeah.
But, I mean.
It's probably a good thing, though.
Oh, yeah. It was a really good thing, because if not, I would never been able to play baseball.
Did you go for business? Or
No, actually, I didn't. I got a history degree.
Oh, okay.
Funny, yeah, funny. But history is like my favorite. So, okay.
Mine too, man.
Dude, so I went for, I was going for like biology. I wanted to do like something medical, you know? And so I got in there and I was like, you already have all these classes. What do you want to take as electives? Well, history is like my favorite. I'm not missing a history class. Like, I'll miss a bio class, but I'm not missing a history class. It's just weird how that works. So, like, I took all these history electives. So then when I wanted to drop bio as my major, so I went to my whatever you call it, your advisor. And I was taking like a class, it was like some type of like presentation class, but it had to do with like bio. And so he was like, hey, you know that you don't have to have like a bio. And it was just crazy too. You don't have to have a bio degree to like do anything medical related. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, I think you'd be good at like administration. I was like, yeah. He's like, and you don't have to have a bio degree for that. He's like, you just have to pass an entry test to like whatever school you want to go to. He said, you can have a freaking art degree. And if you want to go do this, as long as you pass this, you can get in. I was like, okay. And so he was
reality check.
So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be in college for another 2 years. He's like, dude, you can graduate now with a history degree. He's like, you took all the history courses. I was like, all right, cool, I'll do that. So yeah. And I don't use it. I don't use that degree.
Dude, I slacked off a lot in high school and stuff, but like history, I loved history, man. Like, I had Mr. Parsons. He's probably my favorite teacher.
Shout out to Mr. Parsons. He retired today.
I see. Is your mom retiring too?
No. My mom's got a cake job now. My mom's not going to. No, she's not going to. Well, she could. She could retire next year, I think. But she's not going to. She got like a really good job down there now. And so like now she don't even teach English. She teaches like a focus class or something like that. And I think it's like kids that I think they're like they're like off track some way, like credit wise, and a lot of them like have jobs and stuff. And so I employ like half of them, and so it's really cool. So like I get to work like kind of together with my mom. So like yeah, so like they check me in, like I don't know, but she's got it. So now she goes like she's got like I don't know, like less than 20 kids maybe.
Or like kids can work and go to school at the same time.
Oh yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
Really? It's I didn't even know Greenbrier did that.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so like, and it's like kids like even I think like you can even do it even if you're on pace to graduate. It's like really cool, like really cool.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, because some of these kids, and I'll argue this to this day, like some of these kids like have to work. Like their home life is like not good,
right? And
they have to work, and their parents or parent or whoever, they rely on them to bring in money, right. You know. And so like, man, I'm not even gonna lie, we got busted by the gosh, what's it called, the some deal where it's like child labor or whatever. And so what happened was we had a server that was lying about their tips. So server gets fired. She calls and is like, hey, they're not paying me, blah, 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 blah. So a guy comes in, and we had like three kids that like had no home life, like nothing. And so like they were straight up like, look, we have to work. We have to work this amount of hours a week. Well, labor laws say, okay, I can't do this. But those kids need a job. And I told the labor guy, I said, look, I'll pay the fine. I said, it's not very much money. It's like $200 or $300. I was like, I'll pay the fine all day, every day if like these kids can work. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
And I told him, I was like, you can't even. And he was like, oh, I know, but you can't do that. And I'm like, no, but I can do this. Like if it's just a fine, like, and those kids, like they need it worse than I do.
Right.
And that's the cold hard truth. And like I try to like I don't know.
They're probably the best workers too, huh?
Oh, 100%.
I guarantee it, man.
The kids that have to work. And it's not the kids that like are just like, I just want a little money to spend. Those are not the best kids because they don't have to work. Right. In reality, they don't have to work. I think they kind of want to work just to say like I've got a job.
Right.
You know, to say like, oh, I can get my parents off me because I got a job.
I mean, that's what it was for me. You know.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, but some of them are good. Some of them are really good. But I would say like it's the kids that like have to work. Those are the best employees that I have.
Right.
And hopefully like I don't know. Hopefully they wear off on like some of the other employees. But those are like I will employ those kids. I don't care if they're 15 years old. I'll employ them and find some way to like get them hours, you know? So but I mean, then that's just another deal. You can have a whole hour segment on the workforce now. Like it's just crazy. People just don't want to work.
Oh, that's 100% true.
And it doesn't. And here's the deal. And this is what's crazy. And you talk about minimum wage, and you talk about this, and you talk about that. It doesn't matter if it's $100 an hour. Some people would still never work. If, like you said, like I'm going to pay you $100 an hour, their work ethic would still be the same.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is rooted into how they were raised. I really do.
Do you think the pandemic also has a big effect on it too? Because I feel like since that happened and people started drawing that check, even like then I seen it a little bit because they were getting a check and they didn't want to have to work. But even though them not having it, you still see places everywhere hiring. Like where I work, I got a good job and I get good benefits. You know, they pay good, all that. But they're still finding people to like stay there. Yeah,
no, 100%. And what's crazy is, and you see it in other states too, like in Oklahoma. So Oklahoma is crazy. Like, dude, people will like. And it's the same here in Arkansas, but like people will find out. So, you know, like obviously like the checks started coming out or whatever. Well, people will stay under a certain threshold so they can continue to get the benefits. Like even if you say, hey, I'm going to give you a $5,000 increase a year, they'll turn it down.
Really?
Yes. They will turn it. They will 100% turn it down because these benefits well outweigh the $5,000 extra that you're going to give, and it kicks them off. And it's the same way with like insurance too. Like if I know it's like if you're under a certain thresh, like I had a couple people that work for me now, and they make they made really good money, but they make just over enough to where it kicked them off their old benefits. And so like I can see it. So it's like they're riding like a line. And so, yeah, I mean, it plays a massive factor. So like, I'm not even going to sit here and lie and say, well, this needs to be done and that needs to be done. I don't know what needs to be done, but we just can't have a lazy society because that's what we're moving towards. And people want to get mad when robots replace you. But
you think that day's coming?
Oh yeah, for sure. In the restaurant industry, 100%. Like they're almost there to full robotic kitchens. Like it's already almost there. Like they're still like, I don't know. It's not fully. It's not like foolproof yet, but because them things still like go down, but like it's coming. 100%.
Have you seen them?
Yeah,
really?
They're called like misos. Yeah, they're cool. I mean, they're really cool.
I mean, I'm sure it is cool.
These things, and I like. I'm all for employment. Like I want to employ people, but the thing about it is, I mean, you want to people. Y'all were talking about on the last podcast. Y'all were talking about like the restaurant industry, like food industry is like tough. Like just because the people, like the expectation, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, well, like if me and you were to go in your kitchen right now and make a burger, okay, and we have like we had a spec sheet of that burger. That burger is going to taste different between both you and I making it.
Right.
Because we're going to season it, even though like we think this is, it tells us, hey, season it like this. You still may have a heavier hand than I do. So yours may be seasoned a little bit more than I do. But you do a robot, it's going to be consistent every single time.
Wow.
It's going to be consistent every single time. So your taste profile is going to be there. Your waste is going to be minimum. They're already smarter than us. I mean, it's crazy. And they can do like 5 things at one time.
That's nuts.
It's like,
I mean, I've heard about it. I've just never seen one. Like, I've never seen a like restaurant. I'm sure you go certain parts of like places around here, probably see them.
Yeah, I would say like more like fast-paced places, like more like I would say like more upper suburb. I don't want to say upper suburb, but I bet you go to like New York, Chicago, place like that where places move like time moves a lot faster.
Yeah,
they're there, 100%. They're there. And a lot of companies are literally investing millions of dollars into just the research of them. Like they're saying, okay, well, we're going to allocate $2 million this year into, a robotics segment of our kitchen or whatever, just like testing. So like they'll take a store and they'll literally just convert that store to be like a fully robotic store. And it's just a test store. Like they don't care what the store does. They don't care if it does $100 a day or $10,000 a day. Like it's just a test.
This is real.
It's real. It's real, and it's like it's in your face. Like, and then once they get that test and they say, okay, yeah, this is, but they don't put them in crappy stores. They put them in good stores that have good volume, so they get an accurate test, right? But they're really like, we don't care. Like, we just want true feedback. What is the customer saying? What are our managers saying? Like, what are our times? What is our waste? Like things like that. Like deep dive in it, and then at the end of the time, however much money they're investing, they're going to look at it and say, okay, well, we're going to, by 2025, all of our restaurants are going to have this. And then all of our new restaurants, new prototypes going forward are going to have this. So it's pretty cool. Like, I like that side of it.
I need to get a robot to like do my camera.
Dude, you just need to get a robot, everything, dude.
Oh, we're going iRobot nowadays.
Dude.
What's your thoughts on Biden?
No, dude. No.
It's the next question.
I don't. Man, everybody knows where I'm at on it, and my wife hates it because like I try not to be too political, just because of the realm I'm in. Like,
me too.
Yeah. I mean, I employ all walks of life. I've seen it all. I've talked like I can, even if you like Joe Biden, I can have a conversation with you. I'm not gonna like be like, oh,
Right.
No, I'm gonna tell you like I think you kind of messed up with that vote. Hopefully you feel it now, but I don't know. Like I try to stay like even keel on the matter. I didn't feel like there was for this past election. I didn't feel like there was a good option. Like I like Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong. I like him, but I feel like he wasn't a polished politician, and I get like that's what the appeal of him was. But at the same time, like. You can't like do some of the things that he was doing and expect to like not have that backlash. Like look at like DeSantis in Florida. That guy's like, in my opinion, like I hope he's the next president.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you look at Florida's numbers right now, it's absolutely crazy because they stayed open during the pandemic.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They did.
They stayed open, and their economy is like, it's crazy. Like if we're like again, like restaurant, like if you pull like just restaurant numbers, like people like have more money in Florida right now, and they're coming.
Was that an option you could do though? I thought. See, how did he get away with doing that? Like I thought you had to shut down.
I don't know. That's way over my head. I have no idea. But they literally they were pretty wide open. They may have had like some things in the beginning, and I think it was just kind of like him just kind of like following suit until like he could feel like do what he needed to do or whatever. But like, dude, it's like Disney, which is weird. Like Disney's like its own little separate thing. I don't know if you've ever like really looked into that, but like Disney is like different than Florida. Like it's their own little realm.
I mean, I believe that. They own everything.
It really is. And so like, you know, like they have their own little deal. They chose to stay in like their own little bubble deal, and that's cool. But we go to Disney like 2 or 3 times a year. Disney freaks. Yeah. And like, but I love Disney, dude. I love it. And that's another conversation. But I don't know. It's like I don't know. They did. I think they handled it like really well, and he called BS on like everything. Like even now, like I don't know if you saw like there's a clip of him. I think it went viral. He was like in a school the other day, and like a kid had a mask on. He was like, "Take your mask off. It does nothing." I'm like,
I did see that.
Thank
man.
you.
I
was like, thank you. Like,
yeah,
I was in an airport not too long ago, and I was like, I hate talking with a mask on. Like I hate it. Like I can't. So like I had my AirPods in. I just had my mask like pulled down, and a guy like walked by me, and he was like, "You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem." I'm like, bye, thanks. Yeah. Like, okay. Like, it's like, I don't understand it at all. It was the biggest like hoax ever. I understand like people died, and my condolences. I get that. But now knowing what we know, it's just the biggest crock.
Yeah, for sure.
Just horrible. It costs a lot of people a lot of money. Hurt a lot of people.
We're like, paying for it too.
100%. And that's another thing too. Like I told all of our managers, everybody that's involved in all of us from top above store to store, I said, y'all need to like you need to embrace yourself on like traffic falling. I was like, because people don't want to pay $4 a gallon for gas. They don't want to pay $6 a gallon for diesel. It's going to affect everybody. Like they don't have expendable money anymore. You don't have Biden bucks floating around. Right. You know, like people just, you don't have it right now. I said, people are hurting. Like, you know, like we're feeling it right now with our like cost of goods. Like our cost of goods went up. So everything. So like, imagine just like the regular family going to the grocery store. It's like, I like read a stat. I think it's almost $500 with like an average family's like grocery bill has increased a month. It's like $500.
$500 more a month?
Yes.
Crazy.
It's crazy. And it's like, dang. So like, that's what I'm saying. It's like I told our people, is like, guys, I don't even blame people right now. Like obviously like you guys are here. We have to work. Or we have to earn money. I was like, but at the same time, I was like, people have to make a choice. Like if they don't choose us right now, I'm okay with that, because I would rather than like choose a necessity. Like if it's between getting a burger at Fatburger, right, or getting 2 or 3 gallons of gas, like please get the 2 to 3 gallons of gas to go to work. Like please, right. You know, like we're going to be like just fine. But, you know, hopefully like, and I think people are doing that. I think they are prioritizing what they need to prioritize. And that's really good. And I think like, if anything is good that's coming out of this, they see like really like how important their decisions are and like their voices are. Yeah. Is you know, as crazy as it may seem, I mean, I understand like what people think about the election and all this or that, but I still like urge people to like get out, vote, talk to your, like get to know your local politicians. Like just talk to them, you know, find out what they're all about. I mean, and I think like we do a good job around here. We have some pretty good people that are, you know, that are running around here. So.
I should get a politician on here.
Get one on here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Get one on here. Who would be a good one to get?
I've been trying to keep. I'm still pretty new to it, but I've been trying to get diverse people on here. You know? Yeah. Like I got a guy. He's in a rock band. He's coming on. He's been on tour. Just talk about like being a musician and all that. Luke That's was awesome. On here. He's like does stand up. Yeah. You know, just the whole 9 yards. Yeah, everything.
I think that's cool. Like I try to get my wife to start a podcast with me. Yeah. Yeah, I tried to.
What happened there?
I don't know. We're still working on it because like we're big time like New York Yankee fans, like baseball.
Yeah.
So like baseball all day. So like I named my son after Aaron Judge for the Yankees.
Oh, okay.
So my son's name's Judge. So like, and we actually got to meet him last year. It was a cool dude. It was the wildest thing ever. So we went to Kansas City to watch a game.
Yeah.
And we took my Judge to the aquarium that's like right there in Kansas City. It's like right by the hotel. So we get back from the hotel, and my wife's like, Colt, there's Aaron Judge right there. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's like, no, it's not. She goes, she's like, Colt, there's no other guys that are like 6'8", like they're that big. I was like, what? So she's like, he went that way. So like, okay. So like I take Judge and like we're moseying that way, and he went behind like this curtain, and so like I peek around the curtain, and this guy's like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, so like there was an ATM that was like right there, and I was like, I'm getting money out of the ATM. He's like, okay. And so like I'm looking, and there's like Yankees gear like everywhere. I'm like, damn, they're here. So like I was like rolling back, it's like, they're here. Like I don't even know like what to do. Like,
what do I say?
Yeah. So she was like, well, let's just like sit here. Like let's just like sit here for a second. And I try to like respect their space because like they like obviously being a fan, like you want to, but you got to understand like these guys get. So my best friend played AAA for the Blue Jays, and he came up with like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio, all the guys, Jordan Romano, all the guys that are playing for the Blue Jays right now. Yeah. He came up with them on the same team in the minor leagues at the same time. So he was like, dude, what these grown people will do to get autographs is ridiculous. Like, there's a reason why people won't sign autographs, and it's because these people act just they don't know how to respect people's privacy. But I get it. Like, you get starstruck, like, oh dang, like.
So it's every day, I guarantee.
It is, and so like I saw this guy. So I saw a guy with a backpack going into like this little coffee shop that was in like the lobby. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and just ask him. And so like I went, and it was like their what was he? He was like their he's like their team psychologist. And so like I stopped him, I introduced myself. I was like, hey, I was like, is Judge around here? I was like, I named my kid after him. I just like to meet him, you know. He's like, yeah. He's like, I think he's around here somewhere. He was like, he'll be through in the lobby. He's like, but the team bus is coming like an hour. He said, if you want to just hang out here, I'm sure you can just say hi to him. I was like, okay, cool. I swear by that time, he walks right there. And I was like, there he is. And so I was like, Judge, what's up? He was like, hey, what's up, man? And so like just talking. So like I went up to him and I was like, hey man, I was like, I really want you to meet my son. Like, he was like, okay, cool. He's like, and this is like still during pandemic or, you know, COVID stuff. And so he was like, hey, come around here. He's like, security's like really tight. Like, he's like, come around here. We'll take pictures, do whatever. I was like, okay, cool. Super cool guy. So go over there. He meets my son. Like, we're just talking. Like, we're just chewing the fat, man. So I didn't ask for an autograph, nothing. I was just like, hey, I just took a picture with him. And then so we were going up to our room anyway. And so like I was going to respect his privacy and like let him go up on the elevator because he was going up. And so he opens the deal and then he turns around and he's like, hey, are you coming? And I was like, yeah. so we get on the elevator, and then about that time, security guard is just sprinting to the elevator because he sees us getting on the elevator with Judge. So he's like getting on, and like obviously like we just stay quiet the whole way. And it's like we get to our floor and told him bye, like whatever. And so yeah, that's the deal. What's up, dude. Yeah, that was the deal. And so then I went down. So we were then headed to the game. So the security guard was down there in the lobby. So I went up to him. I was like, hey man, thanks for like, you know, at least letting us ride up there with him. He was like, man, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't even talk to him. I was like, man, there's not a sign on that dude's back that says, don't talk to me. I was like, you know, like he's in public. Like I didn't bombard him. Like I let him do like on his own time. Like he's just a Superman. When you hear stories about this dude, like he's a super nice guy. Like he really is. Like I hope, and like he's leading the majors in homers right now, and like he's just tearing it up in a contract year. And I hope he gets paid a boatload of money.
I met Andrew Luck.
Really?
Yeah, in Breckenridge. He goes out there and skis with his family. I guess they got a place in like Aurora or something like that. So they're out there. That dude is tall.
Really?
Yeah. Like you see him on TV, you know, like when he played and all that. I mean, obviously they look big, but then you see him in person, it's like, golly.
Dude, let me pull this picture up of Judge. I just want you to see this, like, because like I'm 6'3", and this dude is, man, I can't even explain it. Like I'm not big by any means, but I'm not like small. This dude makes me look like a runt.
Yeah.
Like, and makes like it's crazy. Like, let me get through this and pull it up.
Yeah, I had I made friends with a guy out there. He like bartends at this place in Breckenridge, and Gronk comes out there like 3 times a year. He said he got to like party with Gronk. And
dude, I got some cool stories. Like, so one of my best friends, like one of his really good friends is Tyrell Jenkins, who played. He bounced around the majors. He played for like the Braves and the Cardinals. When I'm talking like they're best friends, they're like best friends. Yeah. So like Tyrell would like hit him up to like come out during this like spring training. And so like when he was like with the Braves, so they went out one night. They went clubbing one night and like went out with like Freddie Freeman, like all these guys.
Really?
And so it was when that Drake song came out. I don't know I can't remember what this song was like. Blessed, maybe.
Yeah.
And so they're sitting there, and he was like calling us like during this deal, and he's like, "Dude, I'm sitting here right now with BJ Upton, Freddie Freeman, like everybody, like we're just vibing." He said, he's like, all of a sudden, like he said this song come on. It was like newer, and he's like, BJ Upton was like, "Oh man, this is bumping. I got to call Aubrey up and tell him this fire
what?
right here." So he's like calls Drake, like right then and there, like calls Drake, and my buddy's like, dang, like I'm like what the hell is going on?
I wouldn't
right
know
now?
what to do neither, man.
So look at that, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, massive,
huge,
massive guy. I don't know if y'all can see that right there.
That's huge.
It's a big dude. So yeah, I mean it's really like, dude, it's really cool. Like I've got some cool stories like that. I've not been involved in, but my buddies, like I've been around like some guys that have been fortunate enough to like play some like big time ball, and around those dudes and like just like seeing, like hearing like of all the like interacting stories. It's like pretty cool. Like one of my buddies, guy I was telling you about, he pitched AAA, and they went out one night, and some dude, I think it was like the number 1 overall draft pick. They all went out, and it was for, I can't remember what team they were playing. I think it was, oh gosh, I'll remember the guy's name and I'll let you know. But they go out, and he just got drafted like number 1 overall.
Really?
Yeah. So they all go out, you know. And he said, so he's like, yeah, it's on me. So they're ordering bottle service, just bottle service. He said, so the night comes, end of the night comes. He said, hey guys, my signing bonus hasn't hit yet. Do y'all want to like pitch in for all this? So like this guy like just is going to sign for like millions of dollars, but like he has nothing in his bank account, and he's out here spending like he's spending. And so like my buddy who's making like not even probably $1,200 a month,
right,
is like having to pitch in for this dude's like bottle service and all this, and so it's like crazy. But it's just stories. It's just stories like that. Yeah. Man. So,
do you watch UFC at all?
Yeah.
You like Bryce Mitchell,
dude?
That's what I've been messaging him.
So I got his agents. Me and his agents a message back and forth a couple times. Yeah, because I talked. So before the pandemic, or right when before the pandemic was hitting, we were doing doing some conversions in Steak and Shake, and so like we had like some couple new like stuff and blah 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 blah, and so I messaged him. I was like, man, it'd be cool to do like a meet and greet, because this is like when he was like doing those like outlandish interviews like in the Octagon. And, like
I'm gonna say Arkansas every time. Yeah.
Every time I put a mic in my face, I'm gonna say Arkansas. Yeah. So anyway, so I messaged him. He's like, yeah, man, like Bryce, like he'll come out, like do all this. Gave me like all of his like rates and stuff. So you may have to pay him to come on, but I'll chip into that.
It could happen.
I'll come back on for that. So I'll give you that guy's info.
Word.
Hopefully he's not watching, because we'll slide under the table. So
no, my
respect privacy.
My girl actually for my birthday bought me he had Thug Nasty like hoodies.
Yeah.
She got me one, so I'm gonna put it in like a little like case and put it in the back, you know.
Dude, me and my buddies love USC. Like, and my two like operating partners, Marco and Manny. So they're like all my age, like we're 30, and they like every UFC, like we watch them.
Did you watch the Tony Ferguson fight?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. But dude, the new dude that I like is that Patty guy.
Oh, Patty Pimbleton.
Yes. Yeah. That dude is nasty.
Hell he is. Dude.
And I love him too, because he talks. And like I told my buddies the other day, I was like, dude, I feel like he's gonna be like the next like Connor. Like just the way he like talks.
He's entertaining, you know.
And I think like that's like what you have to do to like make it, because like I think like a lot of guys can like fight. I do. I feel like a lot of guys can fight, but it's like, can you put butts in the seats?
Right.
It's like, can you put butts in the seats? Especially like these guys that are trying to like up and come and make it. It's like, I would say like they need to like to really like appeal to like the UFC or like whatever. They need to like be like very like charismatic, like just be able to put, sell tickets.
That's why I love Nate Diaz, man.
Dude, I love Nate Diaz. He got man, don't even get me started about the Conor fights.
Yeah.
He worked Conor.
I agree.
Anybody that watched that fight can see that.
Yeah.
Like, I was
they were biased to Conor. That's all it was.
100%. 100%. And it's the same deal like with this with this Jake Paul, Logan Paul stuff.
Yeah.
Man, and I do mad props to the Paul brothers. Like, I think it's so cool, like what they've done. Like I love that. Like I love like what they've done, like building something from scratch and like getting how they're doing. Like there's no shame in that. But like, dude, this whole deal where he's fighting, what was the guy's name that he fought?
Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, like Tyron Woodley would just work him, like in like real life. Like
like on the street or or the cage or something like that.
Yeah, like I feel like Tyron Woodley like was held back. Like I really feel like that fight was rigged.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because dude, if you watch the fight, if you watch it, like Tyron Woodley had this dude like there was no like offense to him. Like he would like get on the attack and like just have this dude on his heels. I mean, just knocking this dude through the ropes. And then like all of a sudden like he just backs off and then like just gets knocked out of the blue. Like do you think like Jake Paul?
No, that was the first fight.
The second fight he got knocked out.
No, I know, but you said when he got hit through the rope.
Yeah, the first fight, but that's what I'm saying. But he stayed off the attack, and they gave the fight to Logan Paul or Jake Paul.
I don't know. Tyron Woodley don't really strike. Like, I mean, he's a striker, and he's one of the best UFC of all time. Welterweight, I think that's what he was. But like, he didn't really look that much like technically like good at boxing.
Yeah, and boxing is all technical. I mean, that's why Floyd Mayweather is Floyd Mayweather.
But I mean, Jake didn't really neither. He does have power though. Right. I'll give him that.
So I want him to fight Tommy Fury.
I do too. That's another thing though. He's not gonna sell though.
Right.
Like I watched the Tyson Fury fight when he fought last, and like his brother Tommy was the first card on it. Yeah. And like they sold like 94,000 in this arena, right? Yeah. Well, you see the first fight, they're empty.
Do you think who was he coming out with that they're trying to sell now? Is it wasn't Anderson Silva, was it? It was
for his next fight?
Yeah.
He wants Anderson Silva.
Yeah, it is Anderson Silva.
I don't know if he can beat Anderson Silva, man.
Anderson Silva's nasty.
Yeah,
I want him to get beat, but I don't like again, like I just think that there's I don't know. This is just me. I think that there's a rig component of this. Like
well, the Floyd Mayweather Logan, that was just like Floyd could have worked him if he really wanted to.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Jake takes it a little bit more serious. But yeah, I see where you're coming from. But
yeah, I do think that Jake Paul can fight. Yeah, I think he can. But I want to see, like, obviously he's fighting these dudes. Like, I think they're just building up. Like, I don't know. These dudes have a plan. There's a plan behind it all. They're too smart. They're
making money.
Marketing geniuses.
They're making money, man.
That's what I'm saying. If you say Colt, I'll pay you, $1 million to go get knocked out by Jake Paul. Okay.
You think that happens?
Yeah.
Would Tommy and Jake, if they fought, who do you think win?
Jake Paul. And it would, I think like they would probably cook it up to where like it would go pretty, like they would carry, like, he would say, like, I'm going to carry you for X amount of rounds, blah, blah, blah. And then I'm going to knock you out.
You're convinced this is rigged?
I'm 100% convinced it's rigged. With them two guys, yeah.
I don't think Tommy's better than him though. Like,
no. Because when I watched the Tommy Fury fight, I thought the same thing. I didn't think like, and I love boxing. I love watching boxing. Like I love when Conor fought Floyd. I love that. And I told everybody from the beginning, like, we all watched it at a buddy's house, and he's like, oh, Conor, Conor's gonna work Floyd. I'm like, dude, this is Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. Like this dude knows how to box. Like it's not like I said, Floyd's gonna knock him out. Like you watch, like Floyd will knock him out. That's what happened, But
what about Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury?
Dude, Tyson Fury he's a beast.
You can't beat him. I'm convinced.
No, you can't beat him because he's so freaking tough. Like he's just, I don't know. That guy's just got like an aura around him. Like he
don't quit.
No, and like that's the deal. Like, you can stroke him, and he's just gonna sit there. And he's such a, like, we call him bad body guys. He's like dang. But if like he used to be like massive.
I guess
like,
like 400 or something.
Yeah, crazy. But like I don't know, like I watch him and his sides jiggling and like all this stuff. But, man,
and he's fast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
he's
he's so athletic. But I don't know. I think he'll. Yeah.
If anybody could have beat him, it would have been Deontay Wilder, man.
Yeah, and that dude is something serious too. Yeah. But I mean, Tyson Fury's he's just on another level. I mean,
he said he retired. I don't believe it.
Yeah, he's not going to.
AJ wants to. If he gets that AJ fight, he'll fight him.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. I'm glad boxing is kind of making a little comeback because for a while it got so stagnant. To me, it got like really stagnant.
It did for me too.
But the UFC is like, I mean,
well, I think Floyd retiring, that had a big. But I would say though, Jake Paul's bringing attention back to boxing too.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like again, it's like how do you sell it? How do you sell fights? How do you build it up? And I think that's, it's good. But I think he found a sweet spot in boxing, and it's like, it's like how do we not necessarily go for like these big name boxers, but like everybody is such in this cultured piece now with like podcasters, influencers, things like that, and it's like. Okay, like they're more well known. Those people are more well known than say a freaking, I don't know, just like a guy that would just be just a random boxer that you don't.
Oh yeah,
know.
Like Jake's 5-0, I think right now. You're not gonna know a professional boxer that's 5-0 on that level.
I can't tell you. I can't even probably name probably 6 boxers right now.
Yeah,
but I can tell you all that, and it's like I think that they found that niche. It's like, okay, that's pretty smart, Yeah. So I don't know. I hope, I want to see him transition to UFC.
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
Like Jake going to the UFC?
Yeah, I would love to see that.
He'll get work, dude.
That's what I'm saying. But I think that they understand, like they know like how dangerous that is. Like because you don't ever see it. You see UFC go to boxing, but you never see boxing go to UFC. Like Floyd Mayweather is not going to get in the ring with Conor McGregor. He
never get past his kicks.
That's what I'm saying. Like he can't. He would never like he can't do anything. There's nothing. And like it would literally be like, hey, you can't kick me. Like you can't. Like they would have to like really like have super rules for that, or he would kill him.
Conor actually did pretty well though when he went in there with Floyd.
Yeah,
like,
no,
for
he
someone
did.
Who's never professionally boxed to go against one of the best.
Yeah, no, he did look good for a little bit because I was like, dang, I'm gonna eat my words.
Gassed.
Like, yeah, he did. He got so
gassed.
tired, and that's
what Floyd's good at though, man. He plays defense for like most of it, and then the last couple rounds, you're done.
That's right. He knows how to score those boxing points, and that's super tough. Like, boxing's tough. Like, it's all tough. Like, I wouldn't do it. Like, there's no way. Like, I wouldn't get in the ring with any of those guys.
Well, in boxing over UFC too, it's like UFC will call the fight. You get like dropped in boxing, you can get up in 10 seconds. They'll let it keep going.
That's
you know
what
I mean?
Have you ever wrestled? Like actually wrestled? Not like UFC, but like actually WWE style.
WWE style. I don't know. I mean, I've roughhoused with my friends.
Yeah,
like that.
Dude.
I've never got a chair like, yeah, let's get ready to rumble. Like hit them, do like a stage.
So we bring wrestling here. I don't know if you've seen us advertise that, but we've had like a couple shows here in Greenbrier.
Really?
Yeah, we did it up at the castle, just up there by Guy.
Oh yeah.
My buddy's got it's called All Pro Wrestling. So shout out to Ricky Kennedy. Dude.
What?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Dude, it's All Pro Wrestling, and it's legit. Like, so it's independent wrestlers. So, but I'm gonna tell you right now, indie wrestling is some of the best wrestling in the whole United States.
What is indie wrestling?
Just like not affiliated with like WWE or AEW. It's just like.
Just their own type?
Yeah, just their own little deal, like their own little company. Man, these guys, you don't understand like how hard them guys work.
Yeah.
Like most people think, oh, it's a hobby. Mm-mm. Dude, it's tough. Like it's tough. Like I remember their first show or one of their first shows I went up because Ricky and I would play softball together, and he always would talk to me about. I love WWE. I love it. Love The Rock. Love all that.
Really?
Like, we grew up during the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
that's all I knew. So like, I loved it. I love watching like old like wrestling stuff, like old Ric Flair promos and stuff like that. Love it. Love it. Love that stuff, man. So he was like, "Hey, we got this show. Why don't you come watch it? Why don't you come watch an independent wrestling show?" And they do it up there in near West Memphis, which is where wrestling is massive in West Memphis. This is where like Jerry the King Lawler's from, like, and all that stuff. Yeah, and so some of these guys have even wrestled with him, and so. They're just emblooded in just wrestling history. And so anyway, so we went up and watched a show. And so he was like, hey, come like 3 hours early and train with us. It's like, okay. So I went up there, dude. It's not what you think it is.
Is it real?
Yes, 100%.
WWE too?
It's real. It's
really?
Yeah, it's real. Now,
why do people call it fake?
Because it's scripted.
Oh, but they're actually doing this.
Oh, dude, it hurts. It's not, dude. It's not fun at all. Like you think that mat is soft. That mat is hard. Like
I thought they weren't like actually hitting people and stuff like that. I thought they just faked it.
They actually do make contact with you, and like, but they're so skilled in how they do it that it looks a lot harder than what it is. But as far as like taking bumps, taking chair shots,
that's real.
That's real. There's nothing fake about that. So like the first thing you do, so like how it is so like I went in there and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna learn like moves and stuff. No. So like like your initiation is you've got to like go in there and I'm sure they took it way easy on me. But you got to go in there and like get your ass kicked for 30, 45 minutes.
For real?
Yeah. Like just take bumps, like learn how to take a bump. Like meaning like where you fall, like you're falling on the map, or if like somebody like say I throw you off the ropes and you come back and I bump you, where you have to learn how to like fall on that mat in place, and like it's all calculated about where you fall in the ring and this and that, and it's like how you run the ropes and the pace on the inside, and it's like so much goes into it, and it's like dang, these guys like work like really hard, and like how much of shape you have to be in to go through a match. Like I wrestled in a match 2 shows ago here in Greenbrier. And we had like a 10-minute time limit match, and it was a tag team match. And I was probably in the ring for a max of like 2 minutes, gassed.
Really?
And hurt. The next day, like I took a stinger splash. So like where they throw you in the corner and then like come from one other corner and then just like body drop on you. Man, so I took it from a dude that's actually, man, he's knocking on the door to like big time wrestling, like AEW wrestling. Like he wrestles out of New York. And he's actually been like a fill-in on WWE. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He actually didn't like wrestle like in the ring or whatever. He came in to like save like Roman Reigns or like something like that. Man. But like I trust him with my life. Like when we're in there and like he's telling me things and this and that, like, I mean, it hurts. I'm not kidding you. Like it does not feel good. Like you're sore, like you were sore for like 2 or 3 days afterwards.
I mean, I figured that like some of it was real, but I didn't know if they had like props on those chairs where they like weigh nothing or something
it's like some,
that.
There's like some things like that, but like some of the wood, like obviously it's like Taekwondo. Like I think it like breaks, it gives a little bit easier, but like you're still like, so like a buddy of mine like got put through a table, and like it still hurts. Like, let's not, even if that table gives a little bit, you're still falling on concrete.
What was your wrestling name?
Just me. Just Colt Harmon.
Just Colt Harmon? You didn't have like a story or something like?
No, I try to like go for the, my gig or whatever you would call it is like, I try to go for like Shane McMahon. Like I'm trying not to be like a wrestler, like not your like prototypical wrestler. I just want to be like a guy that can get in there and do it. Like I wore like a jersey. And like I just try to go for that like kind of just like athletic look, like, hey, I'm not a wrestler, but I can kind of do it, you know. That was like my gig.
I'm not a wrestler, but I can whoop your ass.
That's right. So and I got to finish the match. I got the my finishing move was called. So obviously The Rock's like my favorite wrestler. So it's like kind of cliche, but like my favorite move is like the people's elbow. So like my move's called the Briar Bow. The Briar Bow.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And so anyway, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of cool, but
that's dope.
It's fun, dude. So y'all have to come out next show.
When do they do those?
Man, I'll text like Ricky and ask him, but man, it'll probably be like August, September. It'll be in the fall. We'll do it back in the fall. They had one. Man, we did one just on the Easter weekend, the last one, and I actually couldn't even attend that one because we had an Easter deal with my family. But yeah, they do those, and man, we have about 200 people there, and it's like
at the castle.
Yeah, golly. Dude, it's fun, and they've got like the entrance set up, like, you know, you got the lights and stuff here, like they've got like the big entrance set up, light show, music. I mean,
it's legit,
dude. It's legit. Like it is so fun. Like, and it's like the kids have so much fun doing it, and the adults do too. It's like, because we're trying to give like people like an out to like have some fun, you know, because there's nothing to do around here. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You know, and that's been my biggest knock. Like we need some more like entertainment stuff, dude. But man, we have probably, I'd say anywhere from 175 to 200 people there. Easy.
That's crazy. I'll have to check that out, dude.
It's fun. I mean, dude,
it
is so much fun, and just getting involved with like the crowd and like the wrestlers, like they do a really good job of interacting with the crowd. Like just, you know, you like
get them hyped up and everything.
Oh yeah, 100%. You could boom, you know, all that. It is, dude. It is such a freaking blast to be a part of. I told Ricky actually last night, I was texting because they just Ricky kind of turned heel, which is the bad guy. He turned heel and it's funny because they how they play it with each other, you know, and it's all like they do it like on Facebook. So like on Facebook, they'll just be like, yeah, man, he put me through a chair and like all this stuff, and like then the other ones will get onto it like, yeah, you deserved it, and like all this. And so it's funny because like Ricky is supposed to be like Mariana's like hometown kid, and like he's supposed to be like what they call it, baby face, like he's like the hero, like, and then he turns heel. And now he's like, man, I got little kids coming up to me in the street, you know, calling me names. And he is like, I'm just, you know, I'm dishing it back out to him. But it's like, if you see them in public, they're going to carry this on in public.
Oh, they like don't break character.
No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's called kayfabe.
Okay.
It's dude, it's awesome. And so I was texting him last night. I was like, dude, what y'all are doing? I was like, when I wrestled with y'all, I was like, dude, I've been involved in some big baseball games, some cool stuff. I was like, but that like was single-handedly one of like the most like cool things I've ever done. And like, it was such a small scale. It's just like this little independent like wrestling business.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, it was dope. It was so fun. It was like, I couldn't imagine like doing this in like in front of like 10,000 people, you know? So yeah, dude. And it's cool. Like just getting in the ring, grabbing the mic, just shooting on people. It's the best thing. So
I bet, man. That sounds fun, dude.
That's fun.
I'm definitely going to one. Let me know the next time they go. Yeah, I'll be there.
Bring everybody, man. And y'all probably, man, you probably could even get Ricky and them to come on. Like, yeah. I'm not kidding you. Like, and they're just cool guys to like talk to. Like one of the main guys, the guy that's the world heavyweight champ right now for the company. His name's Floyd Flair. And he's like this little bitty guy. I think he says he's 165.25 pounds or something like that. But he's got like this bleached hair, like just down to earth dudes, man. And they just go in there and just freaking grind it out for an hour.
So they have rivals and stuff like that in there?
Yeah, dude.
I could have one of them come out here and call them out or something like that.
Just do it. You could probably get them to like throw down in here. And they would. Like it would be.
We going viral.
They did like Smitty, he's one of the heels, and like now he's kind of making his run. He's kind of making his run up to the title. He's getting a title shot in their next little show, you know. But like, so him and Ricky were friends, and then he turned heel and like backdropped Ricky like at his show, like whatever. And it's hilarious. But so like they went on and did there's a guy that has like a media deal, and he's like he did an interview with Smitty at his house, like an interview, you know.
Yeah.
And Smitty has like a gun set next to him and like just drinking beer and like has a gun, just literally the gun is setting like right next and like throws the guy in the pool. And it's like, it is hilarious, man. But them guys they do a hell of a job. Ricky, if y'all guys are listening, you guys are the best. You guys are, just keep doing what you're doing, man. And they're legit. Like I'll put them against any like independent like company in like the US. Like they care so much about it. Like, and they really like, I've seen some of the other businesses and these guys, like, they're not sloppy about what they do. Like some of these other wrestling businesses, they're real sloppy. And it's like guys that you're like, man, you know, like you just get that vibe. Just like, y'all are just out kind of doing it for a hobby type deal. And Ricky would probably argue and say, you know, they're good or whatever, but I don't think he would. He knows the product that he's got and the guys that he's got on his roster, and they really do. They're legit. Like they take it so serious from, you know, how they convey to the crowd, just knowing the crowd's presence. You know, they're not afraid to get conservative. You know, they keep it to an extent, right? Because you know you got like little kids and stuff in there, right. You know, but. You know, Smitty's flipped me off in the crowd before and things like that. So they're not afraid to push the envelope, and like that's I love that.
Yeah.
And so, but man, they've done a hell of a job. So you gotta like I challenge you to get like a group of like 10 people to come to the show. Like just set together, just get rowdy. Like it is some of the most fun you'll ever have, and you'll leave there going like, dang, that was fun. Like you ever been to the fight nights? Remember?
Like when in Conway, I never went, but but it's like that.
Man, it's kind of like that where you just take a group of buddies and go, and you're just like, I don't know, but it's so much more in tune. But I think of us to be like on that level. You just go, and we're trying to get it where we serve some beer. Oh. So like I'm trying to do it to like where it's like there's legal boundaries, like where we try to be like you can purchase a ticket, and then with the ticket becomes like drink tickets. It's like obviously we can't serve like 10 beers to everybody, you know what I mean? But like do it like where you get like three beers or something like that. Like we're trying to do it because then it becomes legal. You can do it like that.
Could you do something where they could bring like their own?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
yeah.
You can bring.
Oh yeah, you can. Oh. Yeah, we just say, hey, keep it in a cup. You know, keep it in a red Solo cup. But yeah, so we're trying to get that like on the next one. I told Ricky, I was like, and then Banks, Sip, we call him Sip, but he's we're trying to get like more people to come. Like if we could get like 400 people, like we can set 400, we could set 500 easy. But like I think if we could like double it, that would be just even more dope.
Yeah.
So
I'm definitely coming,
dude,
for sure.
I'm telling
this
you.
Sounds fun,
dude.
man.
I'm telling you, you got to do it.
And me and my buddies, like anytime we like buy a fight or something like that, we get wild. Like, yeah, go, you know, like,
dude, but that's literally how it is. Like, and you'll know from the jump, like who's the bad guy, who's the good guy, like things like that. And even if you're not even feeling the good guy, I mean, you can just type of deal. So.
Do they like call people out in the crowd, something like that?
Nah, not really. I mean, they can't. Yeah. So like, dude, like Banks, he'll freaking, dude, he'll like make little kids cry. Like we've seen him make like kids cry.
What?
Yeah, like he's a heel, and so like he'll come out, and he's like 6'6", massive dude, and his ring name's Buck Skinner. Buck Skinner, dude. He's got some pretty cool like merch too. But so like he'll come out and like. There'll be like kids there like booing him, and like I've seen him like get in a kid's face and just boo, just like in the face, and the kid will just like start crying. It's like,
oh my gosh,
crazy. But like they'll call like people fat and like things like that. It's funny, dude. It's hilarious.
Oh, I'm here for it, man.
Dude, do it.
But yeah, well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, bro, for sure.
It's been episode 13. Colt Harmon, thanks again for coming on. Round of applause. Y'all go check out Fatburger. Y'all have a good one.